It's the latest horror thriller. It was released on February 25th as The German Key. It's a story about a tow monkey with a strange shape. But he has a terrible curse in him. Every time it knocks on the little drum in the hand, someone will have to die mysteriously. Horn and Chip are twins, but their father suddenly disappeared. Two brothers 6 looking for the relics that the father left, and discovered a tow monkey. To get their attention, the wrench on the monkey's back. There is nothing special about the monkey. The Chip thinks it's just a normal tow. So the two of you didn't pay too much attention. Mom is busy at work, so I asked the nanny to take the boys to the restaurant. I had it before, but when I opened the car door, suddenly I discovered the monkey. The tow you threw a sigh. I don't know why he's in the back seat. 3 people quickly arrived at the restaurant. After a chef's American cooking show, a portion of normal rice appears on the grill. But somewhere else, the monkey in the car. I don't know when I was in the driver's seat, and then it starts tapping on the little drum in the hand. Drum beat is getting faster and faster. And I suddenly felt a sense of insecurity rise up in the heart. Just the next second, everyone thinks that the death of a nanny is just one thing. Accident. But only Hun noticed something unusual in it. What's even weirder is that since that day, no matter where the guy goes, the tow monkey always shows up, in places you can't imagine. This also makes Han become the focus of attention at school. Even your brother is. Chips also lead the bullying Han. That afternoon, I came home in the mud. Look at the monkey still clinging to me like a figure with a shadow. You're angry, you twist it. I wish the people who hurt you would die. Accident. But by that time, Chip had returned home. From the kitchen came a strange sound. Chip stepped to review. It's horrible. Detected. Fresh blood is constantly flowing from his mother's nose and ears. After the autopsy, French doctor, he concluded that their mother died of a ruptured artery. I know this is not an accident. You gradually realize that when you twist the monkey, it'll fall. But we can't specify a specific target. That night Hun hid a kitchen knife. When the Chip is asleep, he came quietly and slashed down the monkey. But what scared the guy was, from the monkey's arm, it's not sawdust or broken plastic. It's a black liquid that melts raw. Too scared to hold a knife constantly, turned the monkey to pieces. Not long after, they were adopted by their uncle and aunt. Start a life based on family. But one night, they both were horrified to discover the monkey they had chopped up. I don't know how they got into the house. But Chip still doesn't believe in this strange curse, because it's so logical. But he was finally convinced. Better to kill the wrong person than to miss. 2 brothers put the monkey back in the tow box. It's even locked in a chain, and threw it into a deep, dry well that didn't see the bottom. It's been 25 years in the blink of an eye. One night my aunt woke up. The sound of the door opening in my ears. She grabbed a 6-gun and went down to check. The main door is open. From the next basement, there's a strange rustling sound. She shivered and walked over. But looking around, there's no shadow. As she was about to return to her room, something unexpected happened. Auntie's face is full of hooks. It's very difficult to remove. She smelled the gas filling the room. Without any hesitation to approach, suddenly, scene moved to. He became a cashier in the supermarket. The 2 brothers have long been at each other's throats. But over the years, they're always haunted by nightmares. A giant hand lifted him out of bed and threw you on the chopping board. No one else is a monkey. That year it startled me again. At this time, some people are calling on the other end of the line. That's the Chip, someone you haven't seen in 15 years. Turns out, their brother had just learned of their death due to a recent accident. He suspected that the old tow monkey had appeared. But because the distance is too far, Chip wants to ask Hun to check the situation. Right then, next to the pool appeared a beautiful girl. On top of her the old air conditioner heater. A screw that shook and fell down. Back to the room completely collapsed. Clearly the monkey was never destroyed. I was so depressed that I decided to take my son. Peter went to his ex-wife. Go to my aunt's house by yourself. But the boy insisted on coming along. Reluctant to drive to the villa. This place has been sealed off by the police everywhere. And the real estate agent I've also started looking for buyers for the ghost house. This is from her story. I know that since my aunt died, neighbors around constantly encounter the accident period. Strange. I immediately understood that this must have been caused by the monkey. But even though 6 controls the entire house, I still can't find a trace of it. The broker said that, a few days ago, someone brought old stuff in the house to auction. Maybe the monkey was bought by the AI. Now only the warehouse is uninspected. Right now, suddenly I heard a small drum. The slit feels abnormal. He hurriedly told the broker to stop, but it's too late. Not long after the police arrived at the scene. But after an investigation, they couldn't identify the AI that put the gun in the warehouse. John became the main suspect. The police told me not to leave town. Soon the chip called again. I told my brother to wait at a nearby motel. Said I'll see you soon. That this very word makes. Be immediately alert. You try to ask if, is the chip really in town? Then the other end of the line is just squeaking. I feel something unusual. Unflip the phone book. Look carefully for familiar names. There was a contact named Miss. Monkey caught his attention. You call right away. But the person who answer on the line, the other side, is the chip. However, the enemy only says strange things. He said that after all, I found my favorite toy. That's the spooky monkey. It's like being struck by lightning. Maybe everything I've been through has been a trap. Chip display raw, but what's his purpose, after all? Scene moved to. Chip sat on the sofa with a serious face. That was 25 years ago. The moment the 2 brothers threw the monkey into a shallow well, its voice was ringing in his head. It says it was me who wound it. And their mother's death was caused by him. Mesmerized, Chip sneaked to the bottom of the well, but the monkey was long gone. Only left on the ground. The key used for whining. For years, Chip's been looking for the monkey. Even put up a lot of flyers around the area. Finally, a young man bought it from the second-hand market. See the ad and resell it to him. Carry resentment in your heart. Chip wants to use the monkey to get revenge. He tried to control it. But after dropping dead with some neighbors, I discovered a truth. It's a monkey choosing a target at random. There's only one thing he can say. Just put him on the cod. This guy won't be a target. Moreover, this principle has a distance limit. After a moment of hesitation, I decided to tell the truth and lead Peter away. But at the right time, a series of banging sounds. Look through the cat's eyes. He saw it was a police officer, so he opened the door. But as soon as the door pops out, the police officer pulled a gun on both of them. Turns out he's also been manipulated by the monkey and wants to get back the toad that the chips are holding. Hun and Peter have to drive to the suburbs. Soon 3 people came to an abandoned building. This is where the chip is hiding. The man got Peter out of the car. I told him to leave the dog hole in the back door and sneak inside to find the monkey, and then sneak it out. Peter had no choice but to follow. But at that moment suddenly. Fortunately, Peter was very careful. So it doesn't accidentally activate any organs. You walk into the living room and see Chip is talking to the monkey alone. Peter moved forward. I want to know the truth behind everything. But he suddenly gave you the toy. Said that as long as Peter wound up, all mysteries will be solved. Chip wants his nephew to kill his father himself. The same way I hurt my mother last year. Only in this way can the chip heal itself. Without any warning, Peter unconsciously twisted the rope. The monkey immediately raised his hand and began to beat a drum. At the same time in the car, I suddenly noticed a giant hornet's nest are shaking violently on the tree branches in front of. The man in the back didn't notice. There was something wrong with the hat on my head. Suddenly the gun in his hand snatched the trigger. It startled both of you. But when I calmed down, you discovered the bullet just drilled a small hole in the car window. An unwholesome hunch. Suddenly in the heart of the guy. The man was immediately presented with a hornet. Torn to the point that there is no longer a piece of healing. I immediately understood. Someone must have been on the cable. Without hesitation, he rushed into the house. Heard the sound of Chips furiously grabbing the monkey. Frantic order him to kill Han. But the monkey stood still and didn't react. He panicked, trying to break the monkey's arm with his arm, to force it to act. But the opposite. The chip itself was thrown away by the monkey. Take that opportunity and get Peter out of here. Look at the scene of my father leaving Chip completely desperate. But at that moment the monkey suddenly knocked back. This time its speed is getting faster and faster, when the drum suddenly stopped on Chip's face, full of confusion. The next second, there was a terrible explosion in his ear. It's a surprise plane. He fell down and fell not far from them. Death. Mother die. At that time, Mom also jumped in. I don't want to confront my brother. You also said that it was a mother's accident. They also said that everyone has to face death. Instead of punishing yourself for an accident, why don't we value brotherhood? No matter what. In this world, Chip only has one relative left. These words, he finally let go of his hatred, but as soon as the story, it seemed like there would be a complete ending. End of the movie. Get Peter in the car and get ready to leave. I want to find a way to lift the curse on the monkey. Fuck yeah, once and for all. Video recap of the monkey. Yours is over. If you see or regret anything, the review is growing. And now, hello and see you all in the videos. Next.